What is going on, everybody? Happy New Year's, episode 122. Nate, what's going on, man?
Not much. I was actually just sitting here for a moment, looking at things, thinking about my eyes must be getting worse, man, because I'm looking at this stuff on the screen, which is directly in front of me, and in my head, I'm like, I wish I could like zoom in a little closer. I wish I wish I had my glasses on at the moment because I can't see as well. And I'm gonna start doing this here in the future, where I'm like reading stuff, reading brackets. This will be me.
Why don't you have your glasses on?
We talked about this, and then it makes that weird reflection with the whole screen and everything. What are you doing?
I'm just making sure that the audio is working.
Is it?
As of now, yeah. It was giving me like a weird message earlier, but it seems to be working. So just keep doing your thing.
My
Oh, there we
thing.
go.
I don't have a thing, but we got a big one today. We have a lot to talk about. I think we're gonna skim through, talk about some things from each of the big Christmas tournaments. I know for me, I like without even thinking about it, I have a notable result in my head from each of the three tournaments, and then there'll be there's more obviously, but like right off the top of my head without even having to think, I have three. We're gonna get to little cheese where I think we might start with that, but we got
Yep.
some recapping to do of little cheese, and we obviously have Maddie Peach making her college commitment today. She's top 10 in the country, so that's really exciting. She is the second girl that will be making a commitment. That'll be at 9:30. So yeah, I'm excited. Honestly, it's a good show today. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of cool things. I'm excited to do the Peach announcement. Again, that'll be at 9:30. But yeah, so we got a lot to do. How are you?
I'm good. Can't believe we're like I feel like the season kind of went like that. We're already through the Christmas break tournaments, and now it's going to be the new year. It's kind of flying by. It's crazy.
Yeah, we
But
got the Duck and Highlander coming up. Those are two good ones.
Duffy Highlander trying to add some more in. It's crazy thinking back when we were
Yeah,
planning the fall of like we had the two college duels, we had Big Cheese, we had all these events, and Little Cheese was kind of the last one. But you kind of are always working on it in the background. I'm like, whoa! Now we're done with all of our events. Now it's just like full high school time. So it's kind of nice. Kind of a breath of
that
fresh
Twitter
air.
battle we got to stream was
Dude,
really cool, and it's making me think. Maybe the end of the high school season. What do people think? Should we start a border battle between Illinois and Wisconsin? Take the best that ended the season from each state. I think we could make it happen.
shout
What
out to
other?
Pam. That was a great event. That was the second year they've done it. They did a
Yeah,
camp in the
Oli, that
morning.
was cool.
They picked a couple campers to compete before the main card. It was a showdown of Illinois and Wisconsin. A lot of great matches, great atmosphere. DJ, Matt Light, amazing facility. I've never been to BAM. They're doing it right there. But if you haven't seen those matches, the full duels on Rokfin, and we got all the matches clipped on Rokfin and YouTube. So I think the total was like 22 matches. Great bouts of all ages. Awesome singlets from Combat Corner. Man, crushing the gear. But
They are. They made some cool stuff recently. I saw the singlets too for Little Cheese. Those were same design. Obviously, it doesn't say Little Cheese for the Big Cheese, but we obviously did the two piece for Big Cheese.
that was the
Which
first
I
year we
think
did the little cheese singlets.
Yes, first year of the Little Cheese singlet. Shout out to Comic Corner for that. But I really liked them. I like the question mark on the back. I thought it looked really cool. The two pieces were cool. I don't know if we'll go back with them or not. I think I didn't realize. So I'll put this on me that we're going way back with the Big Cheese stuff. There's apparent when I was thinking rash guard, I'm thinking like the ones that are tight, right? Like
Yeah.
the tight shirt, not the semi loose fitting shirt ones. And I didn't know there's a difference. So I just kept saying like rash guard when I was doing the order for them. Turns out there's a tight version and a not tight version. In my head, I'm like, why would I ever want the not tight version? I want the one that like you see people compete in where it's like
Yeah.
Under Armour shirt, like it's tight. And that was not the case. So easy fix that we can get to next year if we do the two piece. I think it'll look much better. But yeah, I was like, well, this isn't. But it looked good. But I'm like, it would look better if it was like a tight shirt.
Yeah. 100%. Well, great gear. If you guys need anything, check them out. But let's roll into Little Cheese. Some amazing bouts. Best one yet? I think so. I mean,
Yeah, I thought it was really great. The DJ really puts it over top for me. I think that's the part.
walkouts was an event with walkout songs. Woo! You
Yes,
take a jump
I
right
think
there.
Yeah, that's the part that sets it that gives it the edge for me is with the DJ. Without the DJ, I would say no, but the DJ did it for me. But yeah, before we even get into it, I did want to tip my cap to I think I said this on the stream, but I kind of just wanted to say it again. We had two individuals, Mason Clausine, who got the email, the call, whatever, however you want to say it. He got the call on freaking Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, and steps up and wrestles. And so does Adler Olzak. I think I said that right this time. He got the call Monday morning.
At like 9:50. It was crazy.
And he
It pulls
completed
out, and
the
I'm like,
afternoon. Yeah.
yeah.
So both of those, both I'm struggling to say words. Both of those guys, though, I mean, that's the kind of attitude. Like whether you win or lose, I know one loss, one won. Honestly, it doesn't matter. But I do like tip my cap. Like that's the like that kind of attitude of like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll wrestle. That'll take you somewhere. Whether it's in wrestling, which obviously they're very good if they're wrestling at Little Cheese, but like in life, like if you're just like, all right, I'll do it. Just like, especially with wrestling, like that kind of attitude is what's going to make you good in the future. And I can't say enough good things because I don't care if you win or lose in that situation. There's 14 other people that lost, you know what I mean, and they knew about it for a while, so that part doesn't matter. But just the fact that you want to step in, and we had a couple guys with Big Cheese that did this as well, right? But like that kind of attitude of like anywhere, anytime, not afraid to just toe the line and see what happens, that will take you somewhere.
And when I reached out to the parents, it was like as soon as they asked their kids, it's boom, let's do it. Like they didn't. They were like, wait, good, go. Like so, shout out. But man, some great wrestling, great atmosphere. The crowd was good. Waukesha South and Coach Green, great hosts. It
Yeah.
was cool. They had like a camp in the morning. They had Evan Wick. They had Max Askren. That led into the Little Cheese.
Yeah, the AWA did their Forge camp or whatever it's called.
Yep, they had a nice camp.
Forge.
Kind of a full day of just great wrestling. But we got the results here. I'll pull those up in a second. But one name right away that jumps out is Cale Crass. He wins two great matches at the Border Battle. He follows it up with a nice win at the Little Cheese. He is looking good, and he's a guy that might have missed the podium last year at state, but we knew that he was climbing levels, had placed at a couple national events. He looked really solid. His defense and offense, a mix of both, because we saw him at Border Battle. He was sitting in the corner. He was getting to his cradles. He was wrestling really well in all three positions. And then his offense was kind of showing on Monday night, but he was looking very good.
Yeah, I think a couple of things. I didn't even talk to you about that at all. I actually sent Jordy a text at Sunday evening when I got home, or Monday evening when I got home, and like unwinded a little bit. I literally just sent him a text, and I was so
What are
impressed.
you doing up there, man?
Yeah, no, I was just so impressed with Kale. I didn't mean to like talk about it publicly or anything. It doesn't really matter. But I was really impressed watching him wrestle those three matches. It was just like I said, like his feel. He had a really like it looked like he really was starting to understand where his body was. Because like if you can understand your own body, it makes wrestling somebody else and whatever the hell their body's doing a hell of a lot easier. And it felt like he was really starting to figure that out. And I think the Kate, like a perfect example of evidence of that was that final match he had at Little Cheese where he got the pin, and that's just based on feel. I mean, that wasn't like a controlled per se position, right? But that was feel, and I think that was a great example of it. He did, like you said, he got to a handful of cradles. Man, if I'm Cale Crass's coach, if I'm Jordy Crass, I'm like encouraging him to continue to work cradles a lot because that's a move.
Length.
He's got length, right? But even if you lose a little bit of that length as you get older and you put on muscle and you can't actually reach as far, like maybe he doesn't lose the length. But even if he does, like you can cradle anybody. It doesn't like cradles are. Kale's not gonna end up being like a Jacob Broshka where he's short and doesn't have long arms. He'll at least have the ability to cradle people. And that move will take you. That move will take you all the way through college, and
you'll be getting cradles from anywhere.
Was hitting cradles in the world finals to pin a guy, that won't get old. So yeah, super impressed by him as well.
It was interesting. Like we primarily watch high school wrestling, right? But getting to watch some of these youth kids between the Border Battle and Little Cheese, you can tell which wrestlers like. There's that level of like like you said, you know how to use your body and you know where the other person's body's going because there's a lot of chaotic sequences, and it's kind of like, do they even like that kid hit a Metzger? He doesn't know what that is, I'm assuming.
You
But
think that was sick though?
do you think that? I mean, if he is, he's got a bright future ahead of him. He's like fifth grader, but these kids are in these positions. They don't fully understand them yet, but you can tell a couple of those kids like they were very aware of what was happening, and that was like kind of pushed
Yeah,
them.
that difference of like, okay, so you know that you're doing something. Like I use this. I was talking to a couple kids at Little Cheese. Like I was kind of talking to them about cradle line, ironically with cradles and stuff, like cradle line, elbow pits, like back of the neck, back of the knee, that whole thing, and like where your cradle line is. And I was like, a lot of people cradle people and they pin them, right? Um, and you understand the basic concept of the cradle, but I'm like, have you ever heard of a cradle line? They're like, I have no idea what that is. And it's like you're doing it sometimes, but you don't realize you're doing it. And when kids at that level are starting to understand the actual reasoning or the concept behind what they're doing, then it's like, holy, you know what I mean? You're so good. And there was so many of those guys this weekend. I was so impressed with just technique. Like Hawk Garrett was another one, really impressive. That kid just was gas tank, gas tank, gas tank. He just kept going. I think was it some of the match was it Potter wrestled, I think
Well,
John, right?
so I
So
was gonna
he was
say,
really good, and John just like I he stayed in it, which is what you have to do sometimes, right? But I thought Potter looked really good, and
I
John
was
just stayed in it, and he capitalized when he got an opportunity.
I was gonna say, match of the night is probably got to go Menza Potter. Those dudes are
Oh,
scrapping.
really?
That's what I was thinking because Potter was looking great, and then like the whole first period, it was like, all right, Potter's kind of in control here. I think he had a multiple point lead, and then
Mm-hmm.
Menza hit that just nasty arm drag. I don't know if you remember that, and
Yeah, I
you and
do.
Otto were like, whoa, arm drag, and then
Mm-hmm.
Potter might have scored again, but it was the back points and the takedown late in that third period that got him to win. I think the final was, I'll pull it up again, but I believe the final was 11-10. Yeah, 11-10 Menza over Potter. And I'm actually going through right now. I posted a clip yesterday. I'm going through and going to make like the best moves and best moments. Little cheese. I'll have that soon. But some of the just very high level wrestling.
Yeah, we
Very
saw a couple
impressive.
of like snap arm drags that were really
A lot
like
of arm
just really
drags.
impressive.
I
Yeah, but arm
believe
drags are
Knowles hit an arm drag. They're kind of
like
maybe
here.
Malachi Johnson hit an arm drag. Both AWA guys. But there's definitely a rise in the arm drag trend. Aiden Sinclair.
I've been thinking this before, like I've been thinking about it because people. I always felt like the people that were really good at getting to the legs, just in my experience of wrestling people, were people that were like, yeah, you want to be good at hand fighting, but what also is hand fighting? It's like drags, and you're seeing it with like these youth kids. But I remember just like wrestling, the people that I felt like were so tricky, where you just didn't see it coming to get to the legs, were using stuff off of drags.
Yeah.
They whether they hit the drag and get to your leg, or they make you react from the drag
Boom.
and then they get
Uh,
to your leg. It was like always stuff that was coming from drags for my personal experience was like, damn, like they're getting to my leg. Like they're just tricky with it. They're not just darting in on a shot. They're just, and you're seeing that a lot at the youth level or more, at least with these high level kids. And I think that's some very high level wrestling when you start seeing some of those drags
and
like
it's
that.
the drag is like the perfect move setup, like you said. You get the drag, there's no risk. You're getting a takedown, you're behind
That's
them.
very
And
normal.
then if you don't get it, it's probably a great setup. So it's like, and you can hit a lot of stuff off that drag. You hit both sides of the body. But yeah, definitely a lot of drags. Um, I mean, match number one with Ackerman and Vanderwerf, 25 points around the board. I mean, you even said it. It was, I think Vanderwerf was down by one at the time, and then he ended up getting taken down to his back. And like you and I were like, you can't be mad at that loss. I mean, those dudes are scrapping. There was 20 points on the board at that point. He gives up that late takedown, but he was attacking.
Yeah.
Um, Elias
Yeah, I mean,
Green.
it happens that way. I think, yeah. Another one for me was the I'm looking at the results so I don't mess this up, but it was Gabe Bass and Colt Hoffman. It was
Dude,
for in that situation. It was for me. It was Bass. I was just it's like holy cow, and he's like, I mean, I didn't think either of them weighed 150 pounds when I was looking at him. Like, there's
I
no
remember you
way.
saying that on the stream.
They most. I can't speak today. They must both be like just
Dense.
like Dense. Yeah, I think Otto said that. Just dense individuals because they're not very tall, but they weigh 150.
Because on the
And
flip side, you look at like a Knowles. I think he was like 135, and those dudes were tall. And I was like,
yeah, Knowles is tall. Xander. Yeah, yeah. But so like Bass just, I mean, he was another one of the guys that he was just on the gas pedal and he just didn't let off of it. And you see that sometimes even just best guys, like they get a lead and then they just kind of sit with the lead. And it's like, why? And there's
or
other people that just are on the gas, and he was clearly one of them. Very impressive. Sophie Stibbs. It's Stibbs for everyone
when you and
wondering.
Otto were going back and forth, I'm like, listen to the guy that knows the guy at Parkside. Otto's like, no, it's Steve's. You're like, it's silent E. And I'm like, Otto, come on. Or when Otto was talking about the slam, it was clearly a slam. And
Oh yeah,
I was like, dude. But
I was like, no, let it be. I'm like, are you an idiot?
the dude
Well,
can't
maybe a
breathe
little.
right now. But anyways,
Yeah. Yeah, that was such a slam. It's like bad call. I'm like, great call.
it's funny that we've seen like 4 slams like that in the matter of 2 days.
The exact same one.
The exact same double, just absolutely like not even attempt to put him to the hip, just straight up backline.
I don't mind it. Like, it is what it is. In freestyle, it's legal. It sucks. I can understand the person that's getting hit because I've been in both situations. And man, it sucks. Like when you just land and you just get speared into the stomach like that, you're like, just yeah, the wind knocks out of you. I got in a fight one time in the wrestling room in college with my roommate, and he was cutting weight and he was hangry and he just started straight up swinging at me. So then I double legged him like that and I lift him up, and instead of just like going down, I jumped and then I went down, and he made all the noises when the air goes out. So it was like,
It is crazy that you get awarded that in freestyle. Like you can jump and just land. You can even do like the cartwheel thing, but in folk style, and it's kind of hard to politely set someone down to the hip because then they start leg
without them.
passing and yeah.
But no, so Stibbs, she is like, I was like watching and the entire time I'm watching, I'm like, this girl is just cool, calm, and collected. No, she would look at the corner, she'd get her advice from her coaches like consistently. I was like, she's like a model wrestler. Like she's like what you want. Like they look for the feedback from the coach. Okay, now I go back to wrestle. But she was very like cool and calm, and she like showed no emotion on her face. She was just like kind of going about her business. And I was like, all right. So she's, this is like, I've never seen her wrestle. I was like, this is clearly her. It's just like straightforward about business and keep it moving.
Very good match. Very good match for the ladies. I'm looking at, we'll pull these results back up, see what else we've got. You kind of said Hawk Garrett. He was just a man on a mission. He looked really good. Lots of
He was
attacks.
a little wide open, I felt like too. So I mean, he finished with that bundle inside trip that was really nice. He had a handful, which I mean, I gotta guess he's. I think he's a Nazar guy, so I gotta guess he's learning that from Nicolar because I
Yeah,
think Nicolar helps out there a little bit. I know he used to be there. I've seen him, at team duels and stuff in the corner. There's no shot anybody else is teaching a bundle inside trip besides Nicolar, and you know what? It worked, and he clearly makes it work on the highest level. But I was literally watching. I'm like, this has to be a move that Nicolar taught, but he was like wide open, and he's one of those guys where clearly he's not afraid to attack and get to try and get to scores. But as you're young, and there's probably more we could talk about this with everyone. There was kind of some themes I saw just calling the matches, but in that situation, very wide open in the sense of yeah, he maybe had some risks, had some falls, things like that, where it's just like you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, like the guy that continues to be aggressive like that is probably going to pay in your favor. And
yeah,
as he gets older, some of that stuff's just going to get sharpened up and
yeah.
easily cleaned up. But it's like it's like also tamper your expectations, like know where they're at. It's like this guy's not even in high school and he's pretty dang good already. You know what I'm saying? So
100%. Looking through, Zeitler and Johnson was a fun one. Johnson had a little bit of a late comeback. He cleans up a few areas in his go behinds, and he's scoring a lot more points.
he was overreaching a lot, like
And
front
I
heads. He
did
was
a great
reaching
job
way
at
too deep.
locking that elbow down and controlling it, even though he was in probably a lesser position. But
Zyler's doing a
a
good
fun
job. Yeah.
one.
Wrestled through his positions, and that's kind of, I mean, that really helped him out, was wrestling through all the way. I think that was the match. I think it was Johnson and Zeitler had that right off the whistle, I think Johnson shot in the
Right
first
away,
period,
snap,
but
caught
then
an
he
ankle.
didn't score, and I think Zeitler wrestled through it
Yep.
and found his way to be on top and score. He
And
did a
then
he
within 30 seconds, Johnson had a reversal, and then I think he
right.
got reversed at the end. It was like a 12-point first period.
Right. Like neither guy always had perfect technique, which is totally fine. But I think being at one of the toughest things that anybody can struggle with in wrestling to be good is being able to wrestle through positions, like
So
not
would
stopping and just wrestling through. That'll get you, even if you like say you don't know how to scramble, like and you don't know all the technique right away. If you can understand the hustle of wrestling through the position, it'll pay off a lot for you.
would you rather have a kid in this age that is just going out there and just getting in crazy positions and maybe doesn't have the greatest technique, or do you want someone that's a little bit more reserved in it, like maybe a little bit afraid to pull the trigger? Because you can
I
kind of
think
see the both of it in these matches of like you got kids that are very solid, very sound technique, but maybe didn't put the foot on the
well,
gas as much.
I personally, I don't think I care which way they are, but you have to understand the athlete that you're working with because the ones that are wide open like that, if which is great, you don't want to change that about them, but you want them to be able to start
Like clean up
applying the
a
technique.
little.
And if you can't properly or figure out a way to best navigate communicating with that individual to develop the technique of like let's apply this here, then sometimes you see them get better and obviously they learn some of the technique, but overall they don't end up taking those big jumps and becoming really elite because they haven't found a way to really connect the technique. um, and then on the opposite, when you have like that more reserved guy that's really good with technique, I think the biggest struggle that I've often found is them overthinking because they know so much and they know so much technique, they let their mind slow down their
And
wrestling.
there's like a disconnect between pulling the
Right,
trigger, just going, and yeah,
because they overthink too much because they already know the answers to a lot of positions they're in. So if you can't find a way to connect that and let them almost be free of their own mind, they also will struggle. But if you can find a way, if you have athletes on either side to mold them together, that's when you get something really special.
100%. Looking through a couple more. That Cutter Przlowski, he
That was
looked
good.
good. It was a 5-0 win over Lemke, but very controlled, very good defense. Had a really good score, kind of controlled. It was a
Mhm.
lower scoring bout, but he looked really good. Um, Elias Green is a big dude for an eighth grader. It was funny when Otto was like, "Well, these
Very
got to be
tall.
the biggest cheeses," and you're like, well, "Nope, we've got 3 bigger matches coming up." Shout out to Rickman going into that match. They had met twice, Green winning both of those times. We say it's hard to beat someone 3 times, but Green looked great. That was a rematch of the preseason national finals, and Green was another one that was just, he was a dog on the bone. He was getting after it, a lot of attacks, multiple different attacks, ended up getting the tech fall. Um,
The final, the main event, the final
Rematch
that
of the
lived
state
up.
finals.
That lived up. I mean, that was a chess match kind of between those two guys.
Boone Dilly, Fritz Shannon. Dilly reverses the score from last time. It was a 1-0 win for Shannon. Dilly gets it done 7-1. Great bout. It was funny going from Green, 175 pounds, to 80 pounds.
Yeah, but
But
those two were good, and that I mean it obviously finished 7-1, but it felt like there was one real exchange that really kind of changed the dynamic of that match because it felt like a chess match for a while. And for guys that age and that size to have that good of head hands type of defense, I was like, that will be good for you when you're older. That is for
they
certain. You
need
have
to
head hands defense. Yeah.
start drinking some mass gainer now, so they're ready for 106. Last
They
thing
may,
I
they, may
got.
be, they may be the perfect example. I'm not advocating for a holdback, but if you're 80 pounds, you don't hit a growth spurt to, I don't know, be 100 pounds by the time you go into high school. Like,
You
I don't
might
know if
need
they've
to
held
do
back or not.
the old red shirt.
Might
Um,
not be a bad thing. Like, come on.
Last thing I got, um, man, it didn't go his way, but he struck first. Jason Heiser, Nevin Doyle, great bout. Nevin Doyle got the Turk in the pin, but oh my gosh, there's another Heiser.
He's good, dude. I know it didn't
Good,
go his way, but he's
but
clearly good.
Doyle's good too.
What you saw in the glimpse, right? And
Um,
I wrestled with Nevin before too. He's a solid wrestler. He's starting to really understand what he's doing. He's yeah. It doesn't take away, even though Heiser got pinned. I'm like, you saw the glimpses quick. I'm like, this is another Heiser. He's gonna be good. But
so
yeah,
there's
Doyle,
there's
yeah.
been a lot of great brother families out there. What family with brothers has got the most state titles? I mean, you got the
Oh, it's
Bianchi.
definitely the Yankees right now. I don't think there's
But there's
anybody that's had.
Maddie. I'm not saying number of state titles. I'm saying number of brothers that have won a state title. Maddie and Paul and um,
Well, does Angie? Angie should count.
yes, I was just thinking
All
strictly
the
brothers
brothers have won a state title.
for
Well,
the
no,
Bianchis.
Sam is their oldest brother. I don't believe he did. But Paul, Joey, Maddie, and Angie have all won state titles.
That's crazy. That's a lot of state finals
That's
or
four.
state champs. But I'm like, dang, you have Owen, Danny, Tommy, and now you got another one. And when he applied, I was like, there's another Heiser. Oh my gosh. But all
Heisers are a
around,
good one. Beckers have a few as a family. The Marcos obviously have a ton with the
yep.
two. They have 8. Pretty good.
Wasn't
Uh,
there three brothers? Well, Griffin and Cole and
oh yeah. Hunter, Griffin, and Cole. Yeah, never mind. There's 3.
that's crazy. That's a lot of those parents, a lot of stress watching those matches.
I
But
believe they're at Mankato.
yeah,
Cole's
but
at.
anything else from Little Cheese before we get to the big college
That would be a good
commitment?
little article. What are the best wrestling families in the history of in the history of state
You
of
could do
Wisconsin?
brothers within the family, or brother and sisters, and then you could
Well,
open
with
it up to
women's wrestling now,
cousins.
I'm doing families, not counting brothers. I'm doing families.
I
Best
mean,
wrestling
you've got Tritzes, you've got Yeeties, you've got. You could probably make a whole list of that. That'd be a good one. Get writing.
and like, do I count college stuff? Because like the Becker family, maybe
This
they
could be
probably
a
want to
two-parter.
have.
You could do what has happened within the state,
No,
and then
you got to do it all together. It all counts. Your college and high school
yeah,
career as a whole all counts.
that'd be interesting. Let us know in the comments. I mean, there's probably so many good
My
families out
initial
there.
thought, without any type of research, would be probably the Beckers because they have all 4 brothers, all American, and 3 of them won national titles in college.
Yeah.
So
Do
I
you
feel that's my
put do you
initial.
put
Without any more research, I'd be like, that might be hard to beat.
so do you put weight on the level of the competition? Because then you could say that two
Sure, a little
aspirants
bit, but like, how many
did
people do you think
more
won
post
titles?
collegiately than the. I mean, that's kind of an interesting
Yeah,
argument.
you can put a little weight on like, sure, they won a D1 title over like Ben and
But
Max
then
won a
you made
D1.
Olympics, you made some world team, like
Yeah,
stuff.
for sure. But like also at some point it's like, is it one individual or is it the whole family too?
Yeah.
Like that's that the more you have in a family like the Bianchis, the more success that you have like spread out through the whole family, that adds more weight than one individual being super good and then like 3 of them being like solid. Like
Yeah.
all of them have done well versus hitting that. Yeah. I don't know. I'll look into it. But we have a guest, I think, right, Jake?
Yes.
Are they ready? So if you want to add her in, but she is ranked. I mentioned this before. Number 7 in the country, ranked number 7 in the country on Flow. She's number 6 in our top 30 women's pound for pound, 2-time state champ, an All American at a handful of national tournaments. We have Madi Peach here joining us to make her college commitment here shortly. Madi, how are you?
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. We are good. First question I want to ask, because obviously you just wrestled at Midlands like yesterday or a couple days ago, and you
Yeah.
took 3rd. What's that?
Yeah, yesterday.
Okay. So yesterday you just got done wrestling at Midlands and you placed 3rd in a very, very tough, I believe it's now an open kind of college. It's a very, very tough college women's tournament, and you placed 3rd at. So my first question would simply just be how did that go for you going into it? Did you have expectations for yourself? Did you think this is like you were going to be on the podium? Like, what were your expectations and how did you think it went for you?
Yeah, going into tournaments, I'm always kind of having the mindset that I'm trying to win it, and I believe that I can. I will say I was definitely nervous, but I was also really excited. I don't know. I kind of believe in myself, and so I kind of just let it fly. Like I didn't let myself really get in my head, like worrying about it too much. I try and like make it not so serious because it's easier for me to just like
Yeah,
let it.
not put weight on stuff as much.
Yeah. So I kind of just like I feel like some of the girls are like, oh, this is like so stressful. Like I don't know. Like I feel like they put a lot of pressure on themselves, and I'm like, I'm just here to have fun and just wrestle. So
Yeah. Have
yeah.
you for like for state and just other tournaments, do you feel like you're someone that doesn't get all that nervous or like the butterflies, obviously people describe it as like do you not get that as much? Have you been able to like channel that well?
I honestly think I handle it better than most people. I think I don't get too nervous. I kind of like I listen to my music. I just get in my mode, and I'm just ready to
Mhm.
go. I
I
mean,
love
obviously, I
that.
like there is a little bit, but I feel like I handle it pretty well.
Yeah, I don't know that I personally probably could relate to that as well for the most part, but I wish I had the mindset you had.
Yeah, obviously it depends on the tournament. When I get to like bigger tournaments, it's a little
Mhm.
harder to do it. But like I said, music really helps me before my matches. So
Yeah, what's do you have a go-to song? Now your music. I'm curious.
It's always
it
interesting what people are listening to.
Uh
it
huh.
depends on my mood. I don't have a specific song, but I just like I was saying earlier, like to not take it so seriously all the time. I kind of like just music that's like more like light and like fun, like Nicki
Yeah,
Minaj, Rihanna, and like
yeah.
stuff like
Me and
that. So
Nikki. There we go.
yeah,
Vibes, good vibes.
Hot take. I think she's the greatest female rapper of all time, but we're not here to talk about Nicki Minaj. So, Maddie, I not to put you on the spot or anything, but obviously you were part of a very, very good women's junior duels team as well, and you've wrestled at Fargo. I don't know if you've even thought about it. You don't have to give some direct answer now because that's not what we're here for. But have you thought about wrestling coming back? Obviously, being your senior year in the summer to wrestle on the junior duels team or to go to Fargo or anything.
yeah, for sure. I definitely want to come back for the national dual team. That's definitely by far my favorite competition, and I love the girls, and I think we have a really good chance at winning it. So
I think you guys do too.
Loaded
I've
line.
been looking at it since last year. I looked at it again this year. I've poked around a couple of times when I see some of the girls. I'm like, "You gonna wrestle it? Because could be
yeah,
pretty good. Could be pretty good." So
I'm excited.
good. Okay. Well, I'll ask you some follow up questions, but there's a lot of people here waiting. So the floor is yours, Maddie. Where are you going to be going to college here in the future? Where are you going to commit to college?
Yes, all right. I have decided I'm gonna go to Grand Valley.
Woo! Congratulations. They're very good. Congrats, Maddie. So my first question then is what separated Grand Valley from the other ones? Why did what were the maybe the few reasons, or maybe it's a lot of reasons, I'm not sure. What made the difference for you? They're good program, and they've got some good funding. That's a good place to go. Good for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. One thing that really stood out to me and I was looking for on my visits and stuff is really like the girls on the team because I don't know. Obviously I want to be successful and like do be serious and do my thing, but also
Right.
like I want to have fun doing it. Like I want to be surrounded by girls that are also having fun, that are also working hard, and like I don't know, like I'm very big on like wrestling is like supposed to be fun. Like it's not supposed to be all serious all the time, and like because if
Yeah.
like when you're so like stuck up and like focused and stuff, it kind of takes the fun out of it. And
Agreed.
I run because it's fun, you know. So the girls really sold it for me. I will be honest.
Did
'Cause
you know
they
any of them before, like from like either Wisconsin or national stuff, or were they all just new when you went there and you kind of met them? You're like, hey, I
um,
click with you guys.
most of them are new, but it's actually kind of a funny coincidence. So like when I first started wrestling, when I was like 12.
Hmm.
I lived in Washington State actually, and I went to this club and with this girl. We never were really super like close of friends, but it's just kind of
Sure.
funny because she's at Grand Valley now, but I haven't even really seen her all that much in between. So it's like it's kind of cool because we like started and ended in the same place.
Yeah,
But
full circle sort of thing.
it's such a small world. But yeah, so
Yeah.
that's kind of cool. But
Is so you just felt there they find a way to gel with the keep
yeah,
it serious, keep it lighthearted sort of thing.
friendly. Yeah, they were super friendly, welcoming, and like it. I just liked the atmosphere there. That and they all acted like they wanted me there, like including the coach, which is another thing that was a deciding factor. Is I really believe that he cares about me personally, and like that's a
Right,
big deal. Is like I'm not just another wrestler in the room. Like he cares about me individually and wants to help me personally get better.
right.
And yeah, so they were like they all just said I had so much fun on my visit, and yeah, that really stood out to me because all the girls were friendly on my visits, but they really like took me in, and I appreciated that.
Did
So,
you take all 5 visits?
did I what?
Did you take all 5 visits?
I went on a visit to Simpson, McKendree, North Central, and Grand Valley.
Okay, yeah. And was
So
Grand Valley like semi recent that you went, or have you been sitting on this for a while and you kind of knew, or like what once you went, did you know right away, or did you have to think about it a little bit longer?
It was my second visit, so it was kind of yeah, I think it was my second visit. It was kind of closer to summertime, and
Or okay,
honestly, I've always kind of known. Like ever since I went there, I was like, I really enjoyed this, and then I went on other visits and stuff, and I was like,
hmm
yeah, that's definitely the place for me.
it
So
fits.
I kind of
For
knew all along.
for you, you kind of mentioned how you just like obviously you try to keep it light and enjoy it, and wrestling is supposed to be fun. And I think one of the things that can really take away from people is obviously like the weight cutting aspect. Like things become less fun when you're simply cutting weight and you're hangry or tired or whatever it is. I don't know this, so I'm curious. Are you much of a weight cutter? Like, do you like for international or national stuff or state level stuff? Do you cut a lot of weight, or do you just manage it well?
Definitely not. I will say I kind of learned my lesson with that. My freshman year, I cut a lot of weight, and it was kind of like as a sacrifice for my team. It was just like how everything worked out, and that's how we were going to have the best team is if I cut down. And
Sure.
that was a one and done kind of thing. I hated that. Like that made me want to quit wrestling. So I completely like understand what you're saying, and I don't
Yeah.
recommend cutting weight. I like to like tell myself like I don't like I'm good at
Mhm.
any way I do it. So it's like I don't know. I
No,
shouldn't
I
have
get
to
what you're saying.
be
You can
good.
compete
Like if
anywhere.
I cut weight in order to like be successful, I just like maybe I need to work on my wrestling more. But I will say I do like have to cut a little bit of weight. Kind of just like being like that's just naturally
Yeah.
what's going to happen in sport. You can't really get away with it, but definitely like not a lot.
Yeah, just a few pounds here and there keeps you kind of honest with your diet, is what I like to think. So,
Yeah.
well, I want to say again, congratulations. I believe Grand Valley is the top
we're
5 ranked
number
program,
4.
number four in the country. So, yeah, you're going to a very good program. Oh, follow up. Actually, I have so many questions. I did this with Angie too, so I apologize.
It's totally
The
fine.
world of women's wrestling, I find very interesting. Have they talked to you? Do the coaches have they spoken all about, because obviously the dynamic of there's no D1, D2, NAI, like there's schools that on the men's side of things they are in the different divisions, but with women's you
Mhm.
guys all compete at the same national tournament. Have do they even talk to you guys about that? I don't know if that's something that would change anytime soon because you need like more numbers as it grows.
Yeah.
But is that something that you thought about with your recruiting? Is that something that they mentioned at all, or is that just not even really talked about?
It seems to like it has been brought up, but it doesn't seem like it's happening anytime super soon. But yeah, I will say when I was at North Central, because they're D3, they did bring that. They were like, we have to bring this up. Like if we do get separated, like
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be us because they're D3. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if it's happening really anytime soon, but I have like heard rumors about it.
Got it. Okay, fair enough. I was just curious. So, again, Maddie, thank you for taking the time to announce your decision. I think a lot of people are probably excited to hear that. I love that you're now the second girl to join us for your college commitment. I hope more of your friends and more of the girls around the state want to do the same. But congratulations again. If you have anything that you would like to say,
Thank you so
the floor
much.
is yours.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Thank you, Maddie. Thanks everyone for tuning in to hear her college commitment, and good luck the rest of the season. I'm sure we'll see you at state and things like that.
You guys have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Yeah, you too.
Crazy that she was possibly going to go to number 2, 3, or 4 and pick number 4.
Yeah, I mean she's
Go to
pretty
all the
good.
best ones. Let's go to all the best ones. Well, it's
I
also
mean,
crazy that she's number
go ahead.
7 at her weight in the country, and she's number 6 in her pound for pound. That speaks to just how good the women's wrestling is in the
Yeah,
state.
I didn't even think of that. Holy crap.
When you
Okay,
read that
yeah,
off, I'm like, damn, there's some freaking studs.
she's number 7 in the country,
And
and
if
our
the
pound for
girls
pound.
can get together to wrestle at junior duels again, dude, it'd be
She's
like
this is going. That has made my day to know that another one of the
they,
girls plans on wrestling at junior duels. They're going to be so good. Ah,
they
man,
took
I
third
hope one
last
day they get
year.
the title. What?
They took third last year, right?
Yes, I believe it was third. I think
Man,
they
so
did well, but they didn't win it. And that's really I don't want to say that's all that matters, but I know like when we coach the
But the
boys team,
16U won it though, right? Or was it
they won it
16U
or maybe
boys?
finals. The boys won it. The boys won it. The boys won it.
There's so many results. But dude, to have that many team titles come back to Wisconsin in the span of like 3 years is
So great.
impressive.
It's so great. And
Amazing.
it's yeah. And I think a lot of those kids, like at least when I was with the boys coaching on the national team for junior duels and stuff, like we all knew what we were going there for. So like if we didn't get that, nobody really cared, you know. But at the same time, I felt like maybe a little bit was on the coaches, but I felt like it was a lot on the athletes. And I think Maddie's probably a perfect example for the women's side. It's just like
There was
they
no
know they're there to win and win the whole thing, but they don't take it too seriously. So I don't think it affects their performance really all that much, if it does at all. Just like they're having fun. She said like that's one of her favorite tournaments to go to. Like they're there, they're just having fun. Like, yeah, I'm here to win. But I think maybe it's part of the WWF even is like they find a way, whatever it is, the culture, they just keep it lighthearted. Like you're focused, but you're also lighthearted. You're joking around, you're messing around. And I think that's what leads to the most success.
I'm looking at the top 10 right now for the ladies, and it's freaking loaded.
They're so good. Good. Read
That's
them
like
if you want.
you got Whiting at 1, Hanrahan at 2, Huffman at 3, Fargo Champ Skenador at 4,
They're
Chess
all like the first three are all like number one in the country at their weights.
Peach is number 6, Lily Banks is 7, Bianchi's 8, Newman's 9, Collins is 10. And the crazy thing is, like, we were just looking at results. Newman just dropped a match this past week.
Corey Stewart,
Of course, Stewart is number 14.
up.
She's having a
Right.
great weekend. She's young. We're having a great season so far. Man, women's wrestling in Wisconsin in a great spot.
Great spot.
More
Great
on that later because we'll talk over some of these results from around the state. But we'll kick it off. Bi-State Classic went down the past 2 days. On the boys' side of things, Mount Horham wins it over a bunch of Minnesota teams, so very impressive there. They have a great squad. And then on the girls' side of things, Bayport wins it. Both Frey and Bolling from Evansville make the finals, but both drop their bouts to Minnesota wrestlers. Minnesota won 106, 113, and 120. And then Sheard gets the first Wisconsin title at 126 pounds. So he had a great weekend. One big result that stuck out to me, 132 pounds, the 6th seed, Briggs Weigel of Belmont Platteville, with a very impressive run. He took out Shad in the quarterfinals, 2-1, I believe. Schlump was on the other side, who I believe was the 1 seed. He dropped his match to a Minnesota.
I don't think he was the one. I think he was the.
Or maybe the Minnesota kid was the one.
I think so. I think he was the 4 seed. I'll check.
Because Johnson of Chatfield beat Koss. Koss was the 1 seed. So Johnson beat Slump and Koss was, I would assume, the 1 and 4. And then I'm not sure what the forfeit in the semis was for Weigel, but he ends up taking out Johnson in the finals. So very, very impressive weekend there for Weigel. 141 or 144 had some interesting results. Number 1 ranked Fleege was, I believe, the 3 seed. He lost to eventual champ Dylan Weigel. And then Weigel over Meese in the finals, 4-1. Meese started the year at number 1. I believe he was like 5 or 6 after a few weekends. But anything else from the Bi-State that stuck out to you? There was a lot of good results.
Yeah, there was one that you went through, but I didn't get to stop you, and now I don't remember which one it was that you mentioned. But there unfortunately there was one that now I can't remember. Maybe it'll come back to me. One of the ones that actually stuck out was JD Minder at 65. He won it. If I'm being honest, there's a few of these situations this past weekend. I don't even call them situations. Few of these brackets this past weekend. If I was picking, I would not have picked JD. That's just full transparency. I like him. He's a great kid. He wouldn't have been my pick. But he took out Cameroon in the finals, which
was a red hot freshman.
Right. Very good freshman. But yeah, JD came from what was he, like the 6th seed or something like that? Let me pull it up. JD was he was the 6th seed. Okay, so JD was the 6th seed, and he navigated his way through. He took out Hargrove from Aquinas in the quarters, and then he took out Dannenberg from Mineral Point in the semis, and then obviously Cameroon in the final. So he knocked off a couple. Like it was a
good run right there.
Very good bracket. Cameron, obviously a cadet Fargo All-American. Very good run. Carson Bremer was the 1 seed, I believe.
He had a weekend last week. Stack couple
I
ranked
felt
wins.
like there was a handful of guys that could win that bracket, right? JD would have been, for me, a couple of people down. He wouldn't have been in like the top 2 that I would have picked, but there was a handful of guys that could have win that bracket. There was nobody that was like a world beater, which was what made that bracket interesting. And for anyone to be able to navigate through that bracket was like they had to have wrestled very well. And to get a
bringing
1-0
a few big wins together.
Right. And that's exactly what he did. And get a 1-0 win in the finals. That was, for me, that was one of the ones where I was saying I have one from each tournament. JD's win at Bi-State was one of those where I was like, dang, good for him. Good for him.
Last thing I got from Bi-State, Tyson Martin was like the 3 seed behind, which, I mean, if you go up previous results, stuff like that, Jack Simmons and then Grant Matthews. So he had 1, 2, and 3 in the state, all in the bracket. Martin came out on top, very impressive run. Kind of a little, preview of what we might see at state. I do think that those 3 guys are very much the top 3 guys.
I think it's Matthews. I think we're seeing a preview to the state finals. I think there's a couple of those this weekend. I think Bi-State had one at 175 potentially, but yes, heavyweight here. Matthews and Martin. I think that's probably, if I was a betting man, that's who I would bet to make the state finals. Just like wow, good job on Matthews' part, because again, full transparency, I would not have expected that match to be as close as it was, as it says 6-3. I don't know if it was some controlled 6-3, but if you're a takedown match away, like as controlled as it could be, it'd still be a 6-3 1-score match. The way Martin was wrestling through the tournament, I thought he was getting bonus points in the finals as well. He was a bonus point machine basically. I mean, he went fall in 11 seconds, fall in a minute 38, 123 fall, tech fall, and then a 6-3 in the finals. I thought he was getting like a major or some bonus. Matthews, I mean, we saw him at Big Cheese and we were like, holy cow, he's a big man.
Move.
But he can move. He's clearly wrestling well.
Yeah.
So we know Tyson Martin's like nationally level good. Grant Matthews has a 6-3 match with him. I'm pretty impressed. Even though he lost, you want to say there's no such thing as a good loss, but I'd be impressed looking at that.
Positive takeaways.
Without seeing the match, I'd be like, yeah, that's good. Positive takeaway. He's in there. Like he could clearly flip that around come state.
100%. Before we move on to the next event, quick shout out, Grappling Gardens, our favorite farm. Check them out, grapplinggardens.com. Check them out on socials. They're all over the place. They've got their farmers markets. They keep everything updated on their website. And if you guys need syrup or honey or any of that good stuff, make sure to check them out, see what's in stock. They've got all their seasonal things right in Richfield, Wisconsin, so make sure to check them out. Grapplinggardens.com. What are you going to
I don't want to move on right away, because I do feel like for me there was at least one notable result, like very notable, I thought, on the women's side of things, the girls' side.
Oh, shit, we do have the – oh, yeah. It was right below it. I jumped over it.
So the girls' side of things, for me at 120. So fun fact here, I thought Tucker Athey and what is her name? Shoot, it's Athey on the girls' side. Hold on, let me look at the bracket. Dakota Athey. They're both from Bayport. I thought they were siblings. Turns out they're cousins. I found that out. Tucker told me. Thought that was funny that I thought they were siblings. I'm like, whoa, you both go to Bayport. I was like, I thought you guys. Okay, anyway. But she takes out MJ Newman in the finals. That is a notable result, because, again,
by fall.
How good is MJ Newman? Very good. And if I'm wrestling MJ Newman, I'm not choosing down. She will turn you or pin you. She has a wicked good half. But yeah, Athey takes her out in the finals. Again, not a result I would have expected. Newman being the 1 seed, a multiple-time state champ, super, super good. Very good win for Athey. And just overall, it's like that was one that needed to be noted, I thought. Delia Collins, I think she won it last year when we were there. Does it again. Not all that surprised with her. She's just very good.
Majors number 3 kind of shows the gap there. And then I feel like we've mentioned her before. We're going to hear a lot of her. She's only a freshman. Cora Stewart drops from 120 to 114, makes a statement, takes out number 3. And then number 3 had teched number 6 in the semis. So very dominant there. Wins the bracket 114 pounds.
I've heard rumors. I don't know if it'll happen or not. I've heard rumors she's making her way down and
For what?
107. I don't know that this is true, but
Cora
this is what I've
Stewart?
heard. Yes. And
From
I was like, I'm in the camp of, granted, I'm not her coach, so it doesn't matter what I say.
Ooh, that's a crazy drop.
That's what I'm saying, because I've seen her before. It's not like she's like skin and bones. She's got muscle on her body. She's strong, and she's a freshman, which means she's going to keep growing. My thought was like, if that is true, I'm like, stay at 120. Who cares? But the girls always, I feel like some of the girls always kind of try to navigate their weights. Maddie just talked about, she was just on here. Maddie Peach is like, it was best for her team, but like worst thing she's ever done. She's like, if I didn't have that, I would not do that. Maybe somebody show Cora. Don't cut the weight, Cora. I'm always team though. Don't cut weight. So
120 has, the girls' weights are pretty locked down and loaded. You've got Bianchi at 120, and then you've got Whiting at 114. Number 1 at 107 is Lily Baker. But, wherever you go, there's going to be a stud.
Like, wherever you go, there's going to be somebody good. And, like, if you are going down to 107, then it's like, are you going to be able to perform, especially at state where you got to make weight multiple days in a row after going that far down? I don't know. I just, like, you're going to keep growing anyways. Like, you're only a freshman. Keep growing.
Yeah.
That's but I would say that to anybody, whether they were looking to try and win a state title or not. Like, let your body grow, have the energy, don't hate your life.
Yeah. On the water.
Anybody that wins a state title anyways got to beat somebody good.
Got to beat somebody good. Yeah.
But this is a good transition.
You were at On the Water.
Yeah, I was. But this is I didn't tee this up, but this is a great transition, Jake. Tristan North may be on a Vision Quest mission. I don't know. We're looking at weigh-ins. What people were weighing in at. Is he going down to 150? And is he going to is he on his Vision Quest mission to take out Kellen Wilbur? I don't know, but who knows? I know he made the finals and he lost to Auburn. I don't care. But, like, why is he going down?
We lost to Scholes.
Yes. Sorry. Auburn beat Klug in the finals. But I think North weighed in light, if I remember. Because I was having a whole conversation about this on Monday with John. I think he weighed in light. And I was like, is he on a Vision Quest mission here? Is he making his way down? If he is, my head is like, why are we going down? Also, I believe Auburn's going down. Auburn's going down. So is he staying at 50 or is he going down to 44? I don't know the answer to that. Is Auburn on a Vision Quest mission right now?
I don't see either of them beating Kellen.
Nobody. Here's my lock. It's a lot better than your lock. Okay, Kellen Wolbert is a lock at 150 pounds.
I had him as a lock.
No, you had Declan Cook as a lock at 165.
I had 6 locks. I had multiple.
I got yelled at. Not yelled at, but somebody was giving me a hard time for saying for calling you crazy for saying Declan Cook was a lock, even though he lost. So I was like, "What do you mean? He lost?"
I had somebody come up to me at Little Cheese, and he was like, "We gotta talk about your locks," and I was like, "Oh gosh!" Like, he came in hot, and then he was like, "I agree with Warple," and I was like, "Yes."
Somebody at Little Cheese came up to me and I didn't recognize him. I'm sorry if you're listening. I'm sorry I didn't recognize you. But I loved it. He's like, dude, Declan Cook is a lock. I was like,
let's go.
I was like, he lost
Big brain.
to fucking Buchanan this fall in a folk style match. They're the same weight.
Doesn't matter. Well, they're not the same weight, but but I don't think anyone's beating Wolbert. So Vision Quest or not, have fun.
I agree. So I think 57, you could see a handful, like Auburn going down in general, kind of in my head is like, dude, you were just number 1 and you lost to Xanten in a last second reversal or late reversal 2-0. Why would you not stay there between you, Xanten, and North versus having to cut down the weight, potentially feeling worse, potentially not having the same kind of energy if you're going down to 50 or if you are going down to 44. Like, Newbert is very tough. And it's not that, again, just like I was saying with the girls, to win a state title, you're going to have to beat somebody good. Why not do it where you probably body-wise are going to feel the best? Also, if you are looking at it that way, that is probably the spot. I mean, there's no returning champs at 57. There's a returning champ at 44 and 50, unless Newbert goes down too. But that's
I would way rather try to beat Xanten than try to wrestle Newbert.
Well, Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think
You only lost 1-0. Just get out on bottom.
2-0.
2-0.
Yeah,
I mean, that's it. Definitely interesting. North beats Peyton Mako's pin record, which is crazy.
that's crazy.
He's got like 94 pins. That's crazy impressive. So shout out to Tristan North on that. Him losing to Scholes in the finals by Tech kind of puts it in perspective of like the level that Scholes is on.
Scholes, we were sitting there watching. He
Uh,
almost had he was this close to the first period Tech. I was
Seriously.
like,
So
yeah.
how was he
Tech
scoring his
was
points? What was he doing? I mean, because
snap,
North's tricky to
snap.
score.
Turns out he wasn't for Scholes. Snap, go behind. Snap, go behind. He just kept snapping to the ground and going behind. And he mixed in one leg attack here, but he literally was just like, just snore. I was sitting there, and I like Tristan North. He's a good kid, and you're right. He's very tricky. He does some very unorthodox stuff, and he's made it.
You
Like
can get through the tricks.
Yes. So before the match started, I was like, I picked Scholes to win this, but I was like, Tristan North is going to do something very like weird, and it's going to like is what the people I was sitting with. I'm like, he's going to do something weird, and it's going to be sweet, and either it's going to work, and he's going to like get some points and put Scholes on his back, but I still thought Scholes would win, or Scholes will shut it down off of like Tristan trying to do something unique or like just his style, and Scholes shuts it down and continues to score. That's basically what happened, but I'm watching the match once it's unfolding, and I'm like, how many times are you just going to get snapped, go behind? Because he did. He was just boom, boom. I was like, come on.
The pressure of Scholes, then the release. Yeah, you can tell.
Pretty much.
We saw the pressure at Big Cheese.
One of that couple coaches were like, who do you think the OW is? And I was like, Scholes.
Who was it?
I have no vote here, but I was like, Scholes. That was
Who was
so
it?
impressive. I don't know. I didn't stick around to find out.
Well,
I found
could
out
be
who won the team title, and I was gone.
Unranked Techmeyer beats Bustler in the quarters and then Spearings in the finals. That dude put together a freaking tournament. Holy smokes.
You want to talk about it? That was my notable result for On the Water, Jake. I was like, you want to talk about a tournament or a guy in a bracket that I wasn't expecting to win the tournament? How about freaking Mason Techmeyer from Muskego?
Craziness.
Oh, God, dude. What a run.
So that was a freaking run.
He took out some very good dudes.
Multiple ranked guys. Immel over Botting at 144, 4-3. That was a close one.
I gotta say, sitting there watching all the finals, there were some really good matchups. That being one of them. 50 was one of them. 57 was one. There was a lot of them, like top to bottom. They had going into it. I'm like, there are some really, really good finals. Like On the Water this year, very good tournament. As far as a viewing perspective for the finals, it was pretty boring. It's just,
really?
I mean, it's just there wasn't a lot of
theatrics or
where
what?
points. Yeah, where points went on the board, they went up for kind of one guy. It was dominated by one guy,
Gotcha.
and then otherwise they were like very low scoring, 4-3, 1-0. I remember at one point, I don't remember what weight it was, maybe, but I remember sitting there watching, and they had the third, fifth, and first place matches going, and it was 1-0, 1-1, and 1-0 in the third period. And I'm like,
darn.
And it wasn't the fun ones where it's like all the exchanges and no scores. It was just, I was like, it wasn't fun to watch, but the results are fun to see is how I felt about the finals of On the Water. Because you want to know who's going to win, but the finals weren't all that fun to watch.
Well, at 175, there was probably a preview of the state finals in D2. Number one Madsen over Kipiowski 9-4. Madsen putting together a very impressive tournament or very impressive season so far. And then the other thing I had was Preston Kruger just freaking dominates, pins his way.
I literally
5 pins.
Yeah, I was like, does Preston Krieger throw? Was it Peckrell? I believe it's like, does Preston Krieger throw him? And then all of a sudden they're going upper body, and Peckrell doesn't seem to like be getting out of it. And I'm like,
bye bye.
Yeah, that's what happened. I'm like, this guy, Krieger, yeah. 190 is a notable result. I know it's an Illinois guy, but that Illinois guy is ranked like third in the state. And Sawyer Daly just straight up take you down, go on top, move for a second, crossface, cradle, pin, match is over. It was like so dominant. Yeah, he literally just took him down once, didn't let him up, didn't cut him, didn't get an escape, just took him down, rode him for a second, boom, crossface, cradle, pin. Didn't get off his back, nothing. It was like, well, that was like just assertive. on your part, Sawyer.
That was third in the state for Illinois.
I think so. He's like, yeah, the guy from Illinois was like ranked third or fourth, something like that, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he was good because I'm like, I wonder how close this match will be. And then we looked up his ranking, and I'm like, oh, this guy's good. Okay. And then I was like, I guess this match isn't going to be close though.
Very impressive.
Yeah, it was.
I've got like
He
4
just
other.
submitted to St. Cloud last week, a couple days ago. So congrats to him.
Congrats,
St. Cloud,
congrats.
obviously, very good program.
I got a couple just random results, but quick little shout out Combat Corner. You saw how awesome that gear was at the border battle, how awesome it was at Little Cheese. We've got all of our stuff up on the website. Click shop, it'll take you right to Combat Corner. But they also have amazing gear for just daily wear and stuff like that. But you guys need shirts for state, you need fan apparel, you need singlets, whatever you guys might need, they're going to have it. So make sure to check them out, combatcorner.com. Couple just quick results from a couple different tournaments. Northern Badger, Brady Gessler over number 2, Cale Caitnance in the finals by fall. And then up at 215, Elliot Halvish, he remains undefeated on the season. Freshman, big freshman, 3 falls in a major. So, like, no one's even come close. So I thought that was interesting. And then at Mid-States down in Whitewater, Rugg over DeMarco. DeMarco is an Illinois boy.
What was the final of that? I have not gone through all of Mid-State's brackets to see results.
I believe Rugg beat him 9-0, but that's a battle of Fargo All-Americans. That's a very good win for Rugg. DeMarco.
Well, we know DeMarco too. He trains obviously up at Lake Country and stuff. He's good.
So 2 Fargo All-Americans, and then Orloff over Collins. That crazy that we had on our page, 10-3, and then Collins over Ramich, who I believe is number 1 in D3 right now, 16-7. So high scoring.
That's the match, though, Jake, right there. Lucas Orloff taking out Brady Collins.
What a big win!
Yeah, what a big win is right. That's I've thought this for a little while.
We've seen Orloff. He looks
that's
very solid.
Yes, and every time he wrestles, I always feel like he's in the matches, and he seems to always wrestle like the best, like a lot of the best guys. And I'm trying to see if I can pull up his profile so I can put some names with the. How do you spell his last name again?
Who?
Orloff.
Or Orloff, I think.
I don't think that's right, but I'll give it a go.
Maybe there's one F. I don't know. It's got to be close.
Nope, you're totally right.
Yes, I can spell.
I
have it on the sheet.
All duels, he lost to Mac Ramage. He beat Bustler, Chad, Azura, and Lynch. There was it Indy State last year? Yeah, he lost. Okay, so he wrestled Koji Campbell at Indy State last year.
And that in a great final.
Right. It was 9-2 is the final, but like he's wrestled some really good guys, and I've just seen him a few times, and each time I've seen him, I was always like he can scrap with the best guys. It was kind of just my short-sighted takeaway, and I'm not honestly overly surprised by his result, but also like you wouldn't pick it, right? You know what I mean? But if you told me he wins, I'm not like, holy shit, this is earth-shattering. Because I just feel like he's been like we've watched him. He can move really well. He moves really well. He's good on his feet, which is definitely where Brady's strength is, right, on his feet. But yeah, he put him to. It's on our Instagram. He put him to his back, and he got another takedown after that as well. So
very impressive.
Well, that's a big win, though.
Yeah, massive.
Brady's nationally ranked.
And he's had that big win over Koss or Voss or whatever his name is in Minnesota.
Koss, who's nationally ranked as well. Yeah.
The only last thing I got is those the girls take on Midlands. Very impressive there for Madi Peach took third, Huffman took third, Taylor Whiting took fourth, and Hanaran took fourth.
High school girls.
High school girls going to Midlands and wrestling with the best.
It's so crazy to think. It just puts in perspective because how good those girls are. 3 years ago, Carly Chesker won it.
That is nuts.
That's just so nuts. I mean, there's a reason. I still remember that because she won USA Wrestling Athlete of the Week for the country. It was like, yeah.
Can't even drive, but you just won a college tournament. That's nuts.
Yeah. It's just, it kind of, yeah. I was like, not to bring up that old because I don't want to like take away from what these girls have done. I'm trying to like add to the fact that like, holy, this tournament is so tough.
Yeah. So great results there. Shout out to them. But That's all I got. I feel like we just rifled through a bunch of stuff. We've got all the little cheese matches clipped, and they're up on Rokfin. Those will go up on YouTube in the next couple days. We got the Duffy. Will be live from the Duffy, Port Washington, on the 8th. It's whatever that Friday is. It's not this Friday, but next. And then the 23rd of January, we got the Highlander. We'll be throwing some extra stuff in there as we lock stuff in, but that's kind of what we got coming up. I think starting next week, we'll start ripping a bonus episode a week if we get to it, and hopefully we're in the studio soon once we figure out this damn internet. But you got anything else for us before we sign off?
No, I'm good. This is a good one.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great New Year's Eve. Excited to bring in the new year. I can't believe, as I said earlier, second half of season. It's go time. But thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.